Let's find out if romanticizing my life like a Pinterest princess is actually going to improve it, or if it's just completely unrealistic for a working mother. Step 1 of this challenge was to head straight to Pinterest and find some inspiration from my romantic life. One recurring theme I saw was starting out my mornings slow and waking up naturally. So let's start there. But first, a quick thank you to Walmart for sponsoring today's video. Obviously, when you're trying to wake up early, you should also go to sleep early. I got into bed at 9:30 and I was ready for a good night of sleep. Unfortunately, my brain wouldn't shut off because I couldn't stop thinking about the work I had to do the next day, and I didn't get to sleep until almost midnight. But that was okay, because when you're romanticizing your life, you wake up slowly. No alarm, no rushing around. You open your blinds or your curtains, let the sun pour in, and get your day started. Whenever is good for you and your body. Be so serious. For most of us, regardless of what time you went to sleep, your alarm is gonna go off at the same time the next morning. So around 5:15, mine went off, and after I slapped it a couple times, I got out of bed. Now, even when I wake up a little grumpy because I didn't get much time to sleep the night before, I'm still grateful to be here every single day. I'm grateful to see my kids' faces. I'm grateful for the life that I have, and I do love the idea of romanticizing even the most mundane things like waking up. Not everyone gets to do that every day. I, for one, think it's lovely to be able to, if not physically slow down your morning, mentally slow down your morning. Because the beauty of gratefulness, I realize, is that you don't have to make time for it. It can happen at any moment that you decide to feel it. And I try to be grateful for the things that never get romanticized, like scooping kitty litter. I didn't see that on any Pinterest board, but I'm grateful that I have my cats and they're in good health. So I'm grateful to scoop it, because if they weren't around, that box would just sit empty and I would be pretty sad. Romantic. You know what else is missing from those Pinterest infographics and pretty little lists are people. Kids specifically. And I actually kind of hate that, because we can have romanticized lives even when we have kids. I spend usually the first hour or two of my day focused on my household and my family, and I love that. And while I know a lot of people want to wake up and have peace and quiet mornings, I don't look forward to the days where I don't have kids in the house and my mornings are quiet like that. So I'm gonna romanticize these moments while I still have them. Now, I can definitely get on board with the Pinterest princesses when they say to make your coffee with intention. My coffee makes me so happy. Not just the actual drink, but the entire moment. It is something I genuinely look forward to every day. And I mentioned I'm sponsored by Walmart in this video, and I'm super grateful for that, because did you know that they sell Nespressos and they have these amazing bundles? I scoured the site, you guys. I was looking at every single machine, every bundle. I was blown away by the selection. I didn't know Walmart was out here doing it like that, but I appreciate it because I think I found the very, very, very best bundle. You might remember that I had an espresso for many, many years. I ended up gifting it to someone over the winter, and I've gifted many Nespressos, but I ended up gifting my own personal one, and I didn't regret it because they loved it just as much as I did, but I did miss it. So I was super happy to have a reason to buy another one. And I can tell you, the kids were so excited to see this on the counter again. You might have noticed I took my kids out for coffee on this particular day. I always take them out for coffee and breakfast on the last day of the week. I didn't buy myself anything. I never do, because it would be a waste. I prefer to go home and make my own perfect cup of coffee, because I don't want to put my joy in someone else's hands. And when you have the Nespresso virtual machine, especially, this is the one I have the most experience with, it does an amazing job every single time. There can be a little learning curve, so my suggestion is for you to try the single and double shot pods. Those are my personal favorites because I find that they complement my milk choices very well. So if you're a latte girly, go that route. This particular bundle actually came with over $40 worth of pods. It had a ton of them in there, not just a sample set, but also extras on the side. Then it also came with the Arachino, which you see me using here, and this will perfectly froth your cream, your milk. It will make it hot, it will make it cold, it will make it whatever you need for your cup of coffee. coffee. And the machine too will also brew iced coffee, which, you're like, Sarah, just add ice. Yes, but they also have some specific for iced coffee. So definitely check those out. Check out the whole setup, you guys. This was under $200. It's definitely worth every dollar, and you guys can check them out on Walmart with my link down below.
That one is really good. Oh my gosh. I forgot how easy it was to use an espresso. Oh my gosh, that one is so good. Bianco Ligero. I have bought over 100 of those. I can guarantee you they are so good. This is by far my favorite. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's continue with this aesthetic routine before I end up drinking my coffee, and I haven't even romanticized anything yet.
This part of our romanticized day was on pretty much every list in some way. They wanted you to read or journal, and they wanted you to set the mood with a scent, a candle or an essential oil, something like that. And I actually love this idea in theory. In reality, I didn't bring my cup of coffee to my office and immediately sit down and focus on my intentions for the day because my office was a damn mess. Now, Pinterest is always wanting you to light a candle. Light it with your skincare routine. Light it while you're making your bed. Like, girl, if you light a candle every 2 seconds and then you have to blow it out because you're leaving the room, it's terrible for the candle. So I just use candle warmers to get the similar effect. Now, this is the first time that you're going to be seeing my phone in this video, and that's because while many of the Pinterest routines suggest not using your phone first thing in the morning, I didn't need that reminder. I don't do that. I don't enjoy it, and I would highly suggest that to anyone who is looking to have a better morning and more romantic life, if you will. I treat social media as work, and I don't want to start my day with it, but I pulled out my phone because I put on classical music so that I could really zone into my reading and my thoughts. It was weird because when you're listening to music with lyrics, you're thinking of those lyrics whether you realize it or not. And when I was just listening to classical music, I was able to notice things like the tampon that is clearly visible on that artwork there. You saw it, right? Or the shadow that looks just like a Barbie leg with a heel on, right? You see it. That's actually just a crumpled piece of paper. And then I got into my journaling because Pinterest really, really, really heavily suggests journaling. So do many self-help books. So I feel like I wanted to give it a shot. I needed a prompt because I didn't know where to start. And so that's where we started.
You know what scares me about journaling, writing down my thoughts, is just the insane amount of anxiety that comes with it when I think about someone else finding my thoughts or weaponizing my thoughts against me. I want to get these things out of my mind, but I want it to feel safe. This doesn't feel safe to me. This feels incredibly vulnerable to me. And so I'll write it down. And now I'll have all kinds of anxiety that someone besides me is going to read it one day. This isn't even anything secretive. It's just my thoughts. But my thoughts they're my thoughts. And I don't want everyone else to be able to read them. So I guess what I'm getting at is those of you that do journal and do write things down, do you do it knowing that someone else might see it? So you're careful about what you say? Or do you just never think about that? Because if I'm writing something down, then I know there's a possibility someone's gonna read it, and I'm only ever gonna be able to be that open. Because the rest I'm gonna have to keep in my brain. Because even if it's not a bad thought, what if it hurts someone if they read it? I think journaling is cathartic and it's really nice in theory, but in reality it actually gives me a lot of anxiety and I feel kind of dumb because of that. But maybe some of you know what I'm talking about and you kind of see where I'm coming from.
Now, if you're going to be a romanticized Pinterest girly, you're going to have to take care of the things around you. That includes your plants and your pets and yourself, most importantly, because there's nothing else if you can't take care of you. You are the most important part of your life, whether you want to acknowledge that or not. I couldn't do what I do for others if I didn't do for myself first. Let's take a little moment sometimes to just be good to yourself. Normally, I would go work out, and that is very high on the romanticizing your life list. But on this particular day, because I was filming, ironically, I couldn't go work out because I didn't have time to. Typically I would. You would never catch me in my pajamas. I am not this girl. I'm pretending to be her for the internet right now because I wanted to see if my day would go better wearing my pajamas all day, being slow about everything and intentional. Truth be told, had I gotten a call and I needed to run out, it would have been annoying that I wasn't ready for the day. I'm normally ready by 6 a.m. On this particular day, it did work out, and I enjoyed just taking it slow. It got me thinking, like, for guys, what is the equivalent? What is the equivalent of sitting and doing your makeup and putting on eyelash extensions slowly and intentionally? Like, what is the equivalent for a man? Because I think we could really all benefit from doing something like this and spending time on ourselves and in our own minds with our own thoughts, romanticizing the life that we have.
I saw lots of people saying to appreciate what you have and to utilize what you have. So for this video, I made sure to not run out and buy cute new makeup or cute new PJs. I have, things that I haven't worn in I couldn't tell you how many years, like this cardigan. And I thought, yeah, let's utilize the things that we have. So I thought, Sarah, what are you underutilizing in your own life, in your own house? And then I figured it out. My backyard. We live in the Midwest, right outside of Chicago, so heaters, and they're on, and they're hot. And we have spent many a day out here in the blistering cold between the heaters and the fire table, which is currently on low. This creates like a heat vortex, and it is downright comfy outside, even in the winter. Oh, and this behind me, this is a gigantic TV. And I don't say this stuff and show this stuff to boast. I'm sharing this to say that why don't I use these things? I think sometimes about leaving this house, But sometimes I think like, oh, what if we left this house? How much would I miss that backyard? For what? I don't even come out here, you guys. And I was so proud of it, We worked hard to design it, pay for it. It was everything I wanted, and it still is. I just don't use it. So today is the perfect opportunity to remind myself of like what an absolutely gorgeous, beautiful, not just life that I have, but like literally the stuff I have. It's just sitting here, and I know there's some of you out there who would be like, oh my gosh, if I had that, I would be out there all the time. You say that, but unless you're just like retired, I feel like that's not even necessarily the case. Like my parents love their backyard. They're outside all the time, literally every single day. They have a gorgeous view, there's water, it's wonderful. They're out there constantly. But I can tell you this, before my stepdad retired, he did not spend that type of time outside. And so I'm gonna use that as my excuse. However, I work from home. This is home. So I genuinely have no excuse to continue to let these things in my life just wither and die. It's a waste. It's a waste of resources. It's a waste of someone's talent that did this. It was a waste of money to build it if I am not gonna sit around and enjoy it and invite other people to enjoy it sometimes too. Today, you are the other people. I have the cardigan on for fact because between the heat, I'm gonna turn the heaters off. It's actually so hot out here now with all of this. It is 11 o'clock and I am barely starting work. So that's kind of late for me, and we're gonna see if I can be more effective now that I'm ready for the day. I've had my coffee and my breakfast. I've not opened a single social media app to this point. I have opened my emails, but that's okay. Those are not nearly as distracting. It's more a comfort to me to know that there's no fire I have to put out for work. There's also some noise out here. A lot of the lists want you to like enjoy the sounds of the world, but I live here next to a street, so I don't know if I should just turn up my classical music or just listen to the sound of gas or what. The risk of a bug crawling on you is also much greater outside, but I will take that risk. Just to give you an idea of how long we've been out here, a spider built a web on you. I brought my book out here because I thought, hey, once you're done with your work, you can read your book. I'm not. That took me, it's 1:15. That took me a long time. I have to say, one thing that I've noted already
is that because I wasn't on my phone, and I did go on my phone because I was posting on Instagram, and at one point I got distracted enough to actually scroll for a second, I realized something. All day, I have had complete control of how I feel, of my emotions. But I was on Instagram, and the first video that came up was Kendall and Josh are having a baby, and it was her showing him the pregnancy test, and I was like so happy, so excited for them. That's so exciting. And then the next one was some person I don't know is in labor in the car with her husband, and he looks over at her and tells her to just relax while she's in active labor. And one of the comments said there's a female patient 7 centimeters dilated, and a male patient 2 black eyes and a broken nose, and I LOL'd because that was funny. And then yesterday there was a big game, and there was a play that was just absolutely ridiculous, and I was so pissed when I read it, when I watched it yesterday, and then I just watched the replay, and then I saw the comments of people commenting on this play, and I was angry. And so in those 3 videos, I went from being just so elated and happy and excited to laughing and getting a good chuckle and then anger. It just like that. Those 3 videos in a row. And I thought, wow, before I opened my phone to go through Instagram and stuff, I had complete control over my thoughts and my feelings and how my day was going. I think that's a very interesting thing that I don't typically have. Also, my ears and my mind, like I have my mind. I'm not listening to a book or listening to music. I was listening to classical music, which was kind of just playing, but it wasn't lyrics that I was internalizing and thinking on. The only thing that I consumed in that way was my Bible and then my journal. I was being very, thoughtful, obviously, in those moments, but it's very, very, very interesting, the juxtaposition of choosing how I feel and what I'm thinking versus it being kind of thrust at me how to feel and what to think and what emotions to have at any given moment. Like, I never know if I'm gonna laugh or cry when I open Instagram. And isn't that crazy? What I do know is we do not have time for all this yammering on because I have an event to go to tonight. Let's continue working in a different way. Now I'm moving into filming Sarah, which is a different Sarah. She normally only exists first thing in the morning. Let's go inside because I also am now remembering I don't even have nails, so I can't film until I put my nails on, which is like a 20 to 25 minute thing. And I'm getting hungry, and I think I need an iced coffee, honestly. I need a little pick-me-up. And it was at this point she knew she messed up, because the second you have to rush to get something done, you can no longer romanticize. I realized throughout my day that slowness was a major theme. However, even if you can't go slow, you can always move with intention. Like this coffee. You see how beautiful this thing is? Yes, that was intentional. Every time. Perfect every single time. And the cleanup takes like 20 seconds. There is no way to romanticize being in a rush. The dress, the fit, I think it's good. I think we look good. We're gonna put our iced coffee in a to-go cup and go drop off my daughter's cheer shoes and then drive to my friend's house and then drive 2 hours to the city, and in roughly 3.5 hours we will be sitting down at a dinner. Those of you that saw the Pinterest video, like low-key, I wanna add a bangle. I really do, cause the waist would go crazy if we did the bangle hack. And now it's time to reflect before bed and create a peaceful routine. My routine is quite peaceful because it doesn't involve my phone. And that's one thing that I realize you really can't spend too much time with if you want a romanticized life. As far as I'm concerned, it does not suit a romantic life. It doesn't suit a peaceful life. And I don't know really how to reconcile that with the fact that I work on my phone and I'm on it all the time and I need to be with it in order to be successful, but it doesn't hurt me to take some time away sometimes. I couldn't do this every day, but I'm crazy grateful I did it on this day. It was enlightening and a really nice reset. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you again soon.